And we're on. We are live.
Hello, world.
Wow.
Hello,
Deep breath.
where
Deep
do we
breath.
start?
I live in
Oh,
Texas, so I don't have many Wolves games left before the Rona takes me. So we need a little more quality. One
yeah.
shot on target. I think that was the same as our Arsenal
Was
match.
that
Not many more than
the
that.
was that the Neves free kick, or which one would be classed as that? Because that was obviously that was a bright moment as Liverpool make it two
I'm not
already.
sure. Not sure. That was not an ideal result, but I think it's one that we felt coming in the last 5 or 10 minutes.
Very much vibes of Gillingham away 2014, tipping it down, cold, wet, midweek, concede a 90th minute winner, and now everybody goes almost like the world has ended. Clearly, it hasn't, but it is a big blow. It's a big blow,
I'm,
and
I'm going to go with a new hot take.
Hit me.
And it's one of two things. It's either, which I hope isn't right, that we believe our own hype about the Champions League places and we got a bit cocky, or we're suffering from not having a crowd and the games are just starting to look like practice matches. And that lack of crowd to kind of change the dynamics of while they're playing is affecting how they play, because it does look a little bit like a practice match sometimes for them.
Yeah, there's definitely a gear that's missing there, especially in the last third. I don't know. I don't know that I never buy that the crowd makes that much of a like. Yeah, it can definitely. I think it has more of a effect on officiating than on the players playing. Because if you're
I'm,
on a
I'm,
Sunday league pitch, you're playing as hard as you can. Like and
oh, absolutely, but I'm wondering
not
whether
many doctors when
whether
you break
that
a leg.
I'm wondering whether that crowd noise like flicks a switch in the mind from training to actual game day. Not so much
Perhaps,
that, you know what I mean.
hopefully not
That
when you're playing
whole
for a Champions League spot. But are we playing for a Champions League spot anymore? This
within the Premier,
caster
well, I
says
think
no.
yeah, we're now 7 points behind Leicester with 4 games to go, which therefore makes the maths look extremely difficult. I know if we'd won tonight, if we'd at least held on, we would have closed it to 6 and obviously gone 3 ahead of Arsenal. So we're now looking more over our shoulders instead of trying to look over theirs. And
Yep.
it's Everton and Crystal Palace and Everton, Burnley, Crystal Palace and Chelsea on paper now doesn't seem an ideal final 4 games. Well, hoping we get 9 points on those 3, but where's can we with the confidence which has just seemed to have fallen off a cliff? I know clearly some people think with some of the thinking of already pretending to think we're on the beach already and that we're on the that some players don't seem interested or want to get out the club and so forth.
Well, there are no beaches and there are no clubs because they're going straight
Yes,
from this season into next season. So,
which will make the
especially if we
transfer
have to
window
qualify
difficult.
for the Europa again, which is kind of what we're shooting for Premier League wise, at least. Obviously, we have high hopes for the immediate
Indeed, we all
tournament
had
in August.
high. Yeah, we all had high hopes. We all had high hopes a couple of weeks ago in terms of getting Champions League and so forth. Clearly, I think that is now certainly out the window unless Manchester United lose tomorrow, and obviously City lose their appeal, which I think the uh, the result of that is due on Monday.
They're
From
not
us.
losing it. They've paid the right people.
I'm
But
just going
we'll
to
see.
bring someone else in here.
Oh, somebody's there.
Someone's
Hey.
sitting, waiting very patiently for me to bring them in.
It's JRPB.
It is.
Welcome aboard. We'll take your thoughts on a very wonderful
Wow.
match today.
Where'd you start with that one?
Gillingham 2014 swings to mind.
Yeah, I mean, strange from Wolfsburg. We're actually better the first half today. Not that that's saying much, really, but
There was not a lot of creativity. It just seems like our interplay is just it's not there. Like, we have those beautiful goals that we're stringing 10 or 15 passes together, it seems like, but all our offense is all our attack. It's just get the ball out wide to Traore, and if he can't make it happen, we don't score, and that just seems to be the case. I thought when he went off, we'd see a lot more of that interplay, but that creativity, and especially a final ball, is not there.
Did we have more? I think we had one attack, didn't we? Once Traore was off. I think it was one.
Yeah, we literally lost.
That was it.
We literally lost all kind of zest, all kind of pace that was left in the side as soon as the switch was made. It was extremely bizarre from Nuno. Nuno's certainly going to have to be scrutinised by, I hope, Jeff and the top team, Jeff and the directors, as to why he's not making that many subs.
Yeah,
that could have been an ideal game for Daniel Pedance to get on. What does Daniel have to do to get on the field?
This is honestly the last couple of games, sort of the last 15, 20 minutes, we've looked like we've been fading and get tired and in need of subs, and that just didn't happen today. It was a game that was screaming out for needing something to change, to try and change the game, and we didn't do it.
But I don't think you can take credit away from Sheffield.
No.
So it's just we feel like we lost the game, that they didn't win it, but there was no.
How are they where they are in the league? I can't.
Because they watched us last year. They watched us last year, and they do the same thing. They've set it beautifully, and who knows? Maybe next year they're right there as part of with us.
Having obviously I know how intimidating, say, Bramall Lane has been, having stewarded there during my uni days, and in fact having gone to the game before last at Bramall Lane in 2017, when obviously that was a 2-0 defeat in the tipping round. I wouldn't be surprised if, like, that kind of motivation, I think that Blades could get into Europe for the first time, has certainly struck Chris Wilder's men. And of course, the gaffer in Wilder, Sheffield born, knows his stuff, he's a fanatic, just like Neil Warnock, in the sense is Blades fans managing Blades. And I think that obviously clearly gave him a really motivating factor of, even if it's 1-0, just win the game. That, I think, should be hopefully I hope that's a message issued to the Wolves players, because we could make history again with a second consecutive season in Europe for the first time since the late 60s, or I think from potentially the 70s. So it's someone needs to give the boys a kick, a polite kick at the backside.
Well, I think that was the difference the last 20 minutes or so, is that we put a sub on to try and stay in and settle for the point, and they tried to win the game.
And they did.
Surprise, they did.
And it was a very good header. No one should discount John Egan. Two games, 2 fairly decent goals from him in a row. So it's he's clearly in a blue patch, the centre back.
Are we gonna talk about the thing that nobody wants to talk about? I think that was a shocking game for Willy Bolly. I think he was getting run all over, and of course, our biggest, tallest tree was the guy that got beat for the goal at the end. An absolute forward.
Didn't think he looked great against Arsenal, and he was worse today.
Yeah, he was. Because I've got a terrible memory, I take notes now through the game, and the amount of times I've written Bolly sloppy. And I know and the thing is, his greatest asset is, I think, was his biggest downfall today is his general chilled coolness, but it was too much today, and it went from being
cool. He forgot about the 180 degrees behind him. Like, he was just getting.
Yeah, I think we saw it a bit when we were in the Championship, that he was so relaxed, and he was prone just to make the odd mistake and just be too relaxed about things sometimes. And he seemed to cut that out of his game for most of the latter half of last season, first half of this season, and then just occasionally maybe just tiredness, bit of lack of concentration, and I don't know, but whatever it is, it wasn't great.
he wasn't the
No.
only one with a poor game, but
No.
I expect a lot more from him.
I'll be honest. I thought the whole team. I'll be honest. I thought both teams were pretty awful. Really. And the reason that the one team won is because they actually put men forward and tried to win it. Whereas I watched a couple of our counter attacks. Well, if you're only ever going to have one plus an other to counter attack with, and you could see the players, they'd all start to run up the pitch, and half of them would stop around the halfway line and leave just two to attack.
Yeah.
Just general odds are going to mean it's going to be a lot harder to score like that.
First half was strange. I mean, the amount of time Raul seemed to spend out on the wing first half was very odd. Sort of, what's he doing out? I see him going out there occasionally, but it seemed to be out there far too much. I thought Jota had a reasonably lively first half, was involved in the game more, but his final pass or shot or decision making when we got up into the final third was poor.
What I'm finding with Jota for me at the moment is he's, like you say, he is active and he makes good runs and stuff like that. But I don't know what's happened to his touch. It just seems to bounce off him. And in the latter half of the game, the ball wasn't sticking up front because it either mistime the touch or it would just bounce off him.
The ball wasn't sticking to anybody.
That's true, yeah.
The amount of time, the amount of times that the ball was just being pinged up in the air and almost like a game of headers. Just keep it on the ground. I know it might be tough in such horrible conditions, but for goodness sake, that certainly wasn't a help. I don't think as well that no one could just keep their foot to the ball, as has been the case in the last two games.
I think that goes back to what I was saying about the lack of. I'm starting to wonder whether the lack of the crowd is not flicking their brain into match day. And on the training pitch, it's not so important, but on match day, that I don't know. There's something. It's either that or they don't, or they've just kind of called it a day on the season. But I don't believe that. I don't believe that that's the case. I think
maybe we should do what QPR have done and beam the crowd noise directly into the ground. And for QPR, it's helped them a bit in the past couple of games. Obviously, I know as well within the warm ups and stuff they play. They play all the various big chants through the PA system. Why can't we maybe do that to give, in terms of the final two home games, to give the boys a bit of a, hopefully in sense of they feel a bit more at home, even if it's empty. I don't know, anything that could make them think we've got crowd, we've got people backing us would be helpful. And if it means going to those extremes, then why not? End of the day, it just seems, I think it has got to them that these are not that these are training games when obviously they're not.
So how does
two poor performances?
How does Nuno react then? What does he trot out on? Is it Saturday, Everton at home?
Sunday, Everton at home, which is midday for us and a breakfast call for you, I'm guessing, Alex.
Controversial maybe, but I'd say drop Raul, bring him on a sub second half.
When was the last time that happened outside of a?
Well, it's not going to happen, but it's.
That would be. I think the internets would have more of an uproar than having right now.
Yeah, the Mexican fans would just not be pleased.
So formation stays the same, three up top, or do you think he'll just have the two?
Well, it worked in the first half in terms of us actually being able to get into the half, come forward, even if we didn't do anything with it. I think the three at top was obviously the preferred formation during the season. Clearly, we've got to have a backup plan. It didn't work on Saturday. The usual system hasn't worked tonight. Who knows where we go?
I think that Richarlison is going to have just a field day if we don't make some adjustments. So I think.
I'll go with my hot take for this week. I don't think we need to change the formation, either the two or the three up top. We have got to change our attitude more than anything, and increase it. The tempo wasn't there. It was very sort of relaxed and just stroke the ball across, and we'll just wander up, and then occasionally we might run, do a proper thing. But it was very low tempo. There was no zip. So I think the biggest thing that we could do to improve would be to get that crispness, that tempo back, snappy, much more like that with all our passing and general movement.
I'd have him in for double lessons both Thursday, Friday, and maybe Saturday as well, to be like, look, that wasn't good at all. What the last 2 games haven't been good. Get you in, go proper sharp, keep you focused as possible. Maybe that'll be a way to kick some folks at the backside and be like, look, we do not want to mess this up even more. And whether it means having to punish a few, then so be it. Punish in the sense of maybe drop the likes of Raul or clearly not Bolly. Tonight was an off game. Maybe give Jaume Coutinho and Ruben Neves a rest and use others.
I actually didn't think Raul was played too badly. But realistically, there's no one up there with him.
I don't think he played
anywhere near him.
I don't think he played too badly. But I don't think he's played every game. He occasionally gets subbed off towards the end, and he hasn't had much of a break for a long time. I think he's definitely not bad, but he's definitely not looking as sharp as he has done earlier in the last few games. I mean, it's partly maybe because we just haven't played particularly well as a team anyway, but
yeah, but then you've got to get the ball to him.
Yeah,
I mean, we're not. If we do get the ball, he's getting half chances, or if Troyer has got to the byline, he's got it's. I mean, Troyer has basically got Raul to aim for, and that's about it. I mean, I would expect whoever is delivering the cross that the other player in the front three, it should be a lot. Well, I would have hoped a lot closer.
Yeah, that's the one thing.
to Raul, because
that is one thing, that when you've got Raul going to the byline, the cross is going to come in. You've got Raul's up there. Troyer's down the byline. The cross is going to come. Raul's up there. Where's Jota or anybody else? I mean, Jota ought to be in the box for those things, or if not, on the far side of the box to pick it up if the cross is overhit slightly. Then there was one time he did do that, and it came across and he got that header in, but he got under it and it went over the bar. But
that's it. I mean, I would also like another player to at least be sort of round the outside of the penalty area, not penalty area, the goalkeeper's area, just to. Whatever's going on in the box, if it drops down out there, to be able to pick it up, either to have a shot, lay it back out wide again, or whatever. But it just seems we don't seem to have that commitment of players going forward, which I appreciate is a lot to do with the formation and why we don't concede that many. But there comes a point where we've got to actually start committing some players.
I agree, but who are we sending in? We have a lot of deep line midfielders. Our most aggressive is Dendoncker, and do you bring in Gibbs White? Do you maybe start? I don't know. Would Kilman be able to play a wing, or would you put Vinagre in, or who's coming out? How do you change the attitude without changing the players? So I think there's a big question on what we come out.
Well, I think I'd be freshening up the wing backs for a start. They've got the hardest job of all, running up and down.
The one thing that has changed, I think it's partly now that we've been playing Traore out on the right now, is that Doherty's been getting forward a lot less than normal, and quite often he's the one who's not just playing forward, but he also cuts in. He has that ability to get into the box and goes in, and that's not been happening at all.
You could see him try a few of those darting runs, but just the link up play is not there, and I think I criticized him a few games ago for not seeing enough of that, whether that's part of the game plan or not. I mean, they have the longest distance to run of anybody, so I don't blame there if it's a lack of conditioning or something, but there has to be something that I don't know, would you even just start one up top and just have I don't know, like how much can we change the formation so like where we can take control
like a one up top with a three just behind sort of thing?
Yeah,
that sort of thing.
I think you bring Gibbs White in for that, but if we're lacking a final product, I don't think he's the answer. So I'm really curious to see something has to change, right? Because if he drops the same,
I know someone on the forum is just very out of kilter, said he thinks that Nuno has taken us as far as he can. No. That would be very bold for anybody to suggest that, I'm afraid. Yes, we may have. Yes, we may have messed up in the last 2 games, and clearly the hopes of most of the population have gone down the tube unless we win the Europa League. But anyone suggests Nuno needs to go should, I think,
maybe that's part of Nuno's super fan at the moment. He's saving us for Europa League.
Saving league. At this point, you have to start preparing for that because that's your way into the Champions League. Unless Leicester just capitulate completely and don't gain another point, I don't think we're going to.
Yeah, 7 points clear with 4 to go. It seems extremely unlikely we'll get 4th. The only way, obviously, as I say, we'll get 5th is obviously if United lose tomorrow and they don't. If United somehow lose to Villa tomorrow, and then obviously City's appeal fails, and then United capitulate, and we're able to somehow win our last 4. The maths doesn't stack up too well.
No, especially that last game. Now that the Captain America, Christian Pulisic, just can't stop scoring.
Pulisic, hey, what a player!
God bless him. He is a joy to watch.
Him and Timo Werner could be lethal next season, I think. I wouldn't be surprised if they are dark horses in many people's eyes for the title, as a very off the cuff prediction already.
I like it. I could see
That's
it.
my hot take for next season.
I'll take Chelsea as champions. Wolves runners up by 3 points.
So back to our format. And
yes.
Shall we do a few player ratings, or are we going to do a general team rating, or do you fancy the player ratings?
Just give everybody a
ratings and a man of the match. And a man of the match.
Man of the match for us, or man of the match, I think for us, probably I would say Neves for the way, particularly in the first half, he looked quite hungry. Very unlucky with the free kick. Obviously, I think would have completely changed the complexion of the game if that had just gone underneath the bar. Was able to swing his passes around predominantly all right. Obviously, until when we just all lost kind of a sense of steam. For I think man of the match as a whole, probably John Egan for the way in which he was able to still get stuck in, and obviously again getting a last minute winner. The stats don't lie at the end of the day, and obviously he scored 2 goals in 2 now and have given Blades 4 pretty vital points in the look of it because they're now only 1 behind us.
Right. Alex?
Man of the match? I don't know that I'd have one. I think I was going to give it to Neves just because he came the closest out of anybody to scoring. So 4 inches or so would have done the trick. Neves for that free kick. I agree that he had a great work rate in the first half, but it was a real cluster cuss after halftime. So Neves for me.
JRB.
Yeah, can't argue too much with what's been said already, really. I think Neves, based on the first half performance, second half, I'm not sure anybody really deserved man of the match.
I mean, obviously, man of the match goes to Sheffield, but
yeah.
I was going to go with Cody. Actually, I thought he was the only one in defence who actually came out with any sort of glory, really.
Any sort of musto.
Very loose, yeah. Glory is probably not the right word in this circumstance, but
I think you'll see Kilman over Seiss maybe on Sunday. Even though I don't think Seiss was terrible, but I think if you're going to put some fresh blood in there,
possibly, yeah, wouldn't be surprised. I think you're right. Kilman maybe. I think possibly Vinagre as well.
Kilman, Vinagre, Podence, Pedro if he's okay. Obviously he was out the squad because of I think a slight knock.
Yeah, it said he had a knock or something. So yeah.
But something we can get in pace. Something we can get in pace, something we can get in energy, which is just obviously completely dissipated in the last 180 minutes of football, where we haven't been on top of it at all.
All right. So get ready for Gibbs White. Gibbs White and Kilman in on Sunday. Write it down.
Oh, I'd like to see
White's last
Jordan.
chance.
Jordan, bring it in.
I'd love to see Jordan, but I don't think we will. We should have seen him already.
I would have thought we'd have seen him already if he was going to come.
Yeah. So Gibbs White on.
Why not Jordan? Kilman at the back, Jordan as Cam, Thingy as I think as you mentioned, other players. If you Padance, obviously.
Is it too late to keep Jordan Graham?
He's gone. He's long gone.
He's gone.
A wide player that can put balls where they need to be. Now more than ever, Jordan, we need you, buddy.
He is currently at Gillingham, I think, or he is. Yeah, he officially left Wolves on the 18th of May, so he's currently without a club. So in a sense, we could re-sign him, but that's 99.99% unlikely.
So you're saying there's a chance?
So we'll draw a line under this game then. Transfer talk. I did notice someone mentioning. I'm going to call him James Rodriguez because I'm
James Rodriguez. Yes,
little Englander. I'm going to call him James. James Rodriguez. James Rodriguez again. The rumor continues.
It's been there for a long
Mexican
time.
national manager. You saw that report, right? The Mexican national manager is getting in Raul's head that he should go to United. So we'll see if it's all just talk or not. But that was a big story in America. So America only goes Manchester United. So to have a huge Mexican player play for them would be outstanding for the TV ratings, I guess. So they all ran with it.
I know someone also suggested on the forum that we should sell Adama to get money in. Oh, come on. Fosun have got enough money in their back pocket anyway. And I'm sure if in that circumstance, let's say one of those two went or someone else went, which got us a fair bit, I'm sure we'd reinvest as we have done. It'd be foolish for us not to. Yes, Nuno likes his small squads, fair enough, but we're going to have to dig out. Obviously, with I think the financial fair play restrictions being kind of semi-lifted for the next, if we can use what we can financial-wise, and Fosun being the firm they are, still helping a lot in terms of COVID and getting a lot of revenue from their other companies and so forth, we should do that. So
well, Messi and Ronaldo are going to cost a lot over the next few years, so we do need to start storing up some money.
Well, they'll be retiring, I think, probably sooner rather than later. They'll be in mid-30s almost now, which is incredible to think. But Rodriguez, I think, would be a decent-ish addition. I'm sure no one would moan. I would think, obviously, his wages would do the big hurdle. Same with Ruben Dias, which again has come up on Twitter. I'm trying to think of names, but
Saint Maxim to go to be in the same side as Traore.
Alan St. Maximum along with Traore. They're him, Neto, and Traore. With the pace of those three combined, then I think would definitely be able to bolster the forward lines. But didn't he sign a new contract with Newcastle?
And then finally, please me by transitioning to a 4-3-3, and then I'll be happy. That's the future. We'll transition into a 4-3-3 and become the dominant force of English football. That's hot take number 2.
Maybe you'll see a 4-3-3 on Sunday then.
I can't see Nuno playing any other system than the 3-5.
He has, but that's the thing. He has played a 4-3-3 in his past, so it's not beyond all the realms of possibility. But
I can't see it happening this season.
No, you're right. I don't think it'll be this season. If it does happen, it will come in future seasons, I think.
Not even next season.
I think it will happen.
There's just no time. There's no time to install a system. So
He doesn't, in looking at the signings we've made since he became manager, he hasn't made any signings that suggest he's looking to change that way, though.
Mm-hmm. And obviously, that would also potentially dent Connor Cody ever getting into England squad as well if we don't go for the back. As another pointer, which, well, maybe on this form doesn't seem too likely, but there we are. But I think if there was anyone to hopefully tell him, please have a different backup system which you could use, then I hope it would be Jeff Shee and John Bywater and John Goff. And having met and engaged with John Goff, I'm tempted, within the years of having built the youth zone, I'm tempted to drop him a letter. Be like, dear John, could you have a word? It's one of those things.
I wouldn't have thought the directors would get involved in that side of the things. And to be honest, I don't think we would really want them to.
True, but maybe there have to be a talking to of some kind of like maybe Nuno have it as an option. Because we do need backups, as is again shown tonight. Everton then on Sunday.
I don't feel good about it. I'm not gonna lie. Are we gonna say predictions till the end?
I think we're on to predictions. I think we've got there. Unless you have some other hot takes or juicy transfer tidbits.
I don't have any transfer tidbits, but I just think it's going to be 3-1 to Everton. I think Richarlison's just going to get a brace at least on us. I just the way we looked today, I don't feel confident about an elite attacker like that. So.
Yeah, Everton as they shown when they came to Molyneux opening day of last season for that absolute cracker, and then obviously the game at Goodison earlier this season, a very decent outfit. No one should underestimate them as they showed. Richarlison, I think, will be rubbing his hands with glee tonight, seeing what he had seen. It would be typical of us though if we were able to if our defence was able to smarten up. And Willy Bolly had a pretty good afternoon of it.
Well, I'm the first one to pick against Wolves in our short history here.
I may have to go with I may have to join with you with a 1 or maybe 2-0 or 2-1. But an Everton win is in my current thought, sadly, unless we somehow effectively stop, say, with Richarlison and are able to devise a plan which we're actually being more creative up front. And within the midfield, yes, it's all good. Ruben Neves bringing a load of passes, but no one does anything with them. Then what's the point?
Yep, agreed.
And that feels painful to say.
Agree. What do you, JRPB? What you got?
I don't know. I'd go for 2-2 or 2-1 to Everton.
It's a depressing day.
Yeah.
Don't worry. I'm still got mine yet.
Like I say, if we make some decent subs and actually make use of more than one of them, then maybe we might get something out of the game. But
all right, Bod, take us home with your ray of sunshine.
Well. Actually, I think they will get a severe telling off and told to buck their ideas up, a couple of changes, and we will roll out 3-1 winners.
Ooh.
Just like the away game last season where Dendonker's got a beauty on the outside of the box.
Definitely.
That would be nice.
I know, and I think a couple of the changes will be the stars of the show as well.
So Gibbs White it is.
I don't think it'll be Gibbs White. Not yet. I don't think he's shown quite enough yet.
Hopefully Neto's all right. Let's put him up front. I'm ready.
Cody,
I'll be honest. I think Neto and Vinagre. I wouldn't be surprised to see Neto and Vinagre starting.
Yeah, Vinagra's possibly a good shout. And again, if he does play, that usually means that we're maybe going to be a bit more proactive and get forward a bit more. And
he's like Traore, lot of pace down his side of the wing. Not too bad at defensive work where he still needs to improve on. But I think getting the pacier folks and hopefully give Everton be like, right, we've got a lot of quicker players on the pitch today, so might be the way to go to stop them, I suppose. And let's hope.
If we're going to go for the more up tempo and take the game to them a bit more, then hope we do have look to make more use of the subs in the second half, because I think trying to play that's one of the things. I think if we try to play that sort of game for the full 90 minutes, we're going to run out of steam.
Yeah, I think you'll see Trier on the bench, hopefully, so that we have that insurance policy in case the game is out of hand or if it's getting stretched later on. I don't know that he does us much good over 90 minutes for running him out there every 4 days. So
it knackers him. It absolutely, I'm sure it is knackered him. Obviously, him going down in early stages with his shoulder being a bit.
Yeah, that was a bit worrying.
I'm surprised he hasn't had that operated on, as far as I'm aware, still, which is extremely annoying.
Yeah, but that might keep him with us too. So let's hope.
Yes, very true, very true. At least I know that if we fail on at least I know that come Sunday, even if we bugger it up, then we'll have another good Grand Prix to look forward to straight after. As an F1 fan,
right,
so...
okay then. Well, on that note, I think it might be time to call this one to an end. Thank you, everyone, for joining us.
Adios.
That's all your cue to say thank you.
I gave you a nod. That's all you get today.
Okie doke. And we'll see you after the Everton game then.
Hopefully it'll be a bit more enjoyable.
Absolutely. So, yes, goodbye, everybody. Bye-bye.
Bye.
See you later. Bye.
Hurrah.